Hello everyone, welcome back to Old Dad's Modeling Mess. And in today's video, this is a viewer request. As you see there's a tiger with some ricochet damage on the front of it. And Kevin, here you go. I'm going to make some ricochet marks on the front of my tiger. And this is how I do them. Now, by no means am I like good at this stuff. I'm extremely honored that you asked me to do this, but there are way better people out there. So if you like this, great. If you don't, you might want to check Night Shift. In my opinion, he's God tier when it comes to anything dealing with armor models. So getting on to the ricochet damage here. As you've seen there in the first picture, the round hit the viewport and the front armor plate. And so I'm trying to mimic that. And normally when I do this, I will use a smaller bit and get a starter hole going. But since I'm trying to damage both pieces at the same time, I can't do that. So I used the bigger bit to get the damage started on both at the same time. And then, as you just seen, I used the smaller bit, and I'm using that really for the depth. So I'm using a more aggressive bit to get down quicker. And if it makes the plastic kind of bulge up a little bit or turn white on the sides, that's fine because it's ricochet damage. And once I get done with that, like the shape of the hole, the depth and all that, because these are all guesstimations. I'm guessing just by the look of the picture, and you know, with this being a smaller model, I'm guessing that's close to scale-ish size. So now the fun part comes, and I love Tamiya Putty, but I completely have issues when I try to do this because I can never get this stuff to stick in the holes for some reason. But after I get done bumbling and fumbling and all that other stuff here and get it in a hole, you can use anything to it's got to be smaller than the hole that you started with. Like you can use the end of a paintbrush there, or I like to use my wife's sculpting tools here. And you want to use, again, something smaller than the hole when you squish it in there or push it in there, because it squishes the Tamiya Putty out, which gives you that the melted metal ricochet damage, you know, to the area, and that's what you're needing. Now, as you see there's a piece of it that squished out. Didn't need it because you don't have to have a lot. It doesn't have to look, you know, like a damn volcano or nothing like that. You just need some of it squished out around the edges so you can tell that something hit that there. And then if you really want to go all fancy, and I'm trying to for the video here because it looked fine the way it was, but I'm trying to get more of it on the viewport as well. And so you could use a toothpick or do like I did there with the hobby knife and get it on there, move it around. But you got to be really careful because that stuff sticks. Doesn't stick when you try to get it in there, but it'll stick to everything else after that. So now I'm going to do it the way I normally would. I'm going to add another ricochet up towards the top there, as you've seen in that last picture, where it had the two holes right at the top of the plate. And I'm going to try to mimic that, but I'm going to go in between both of them. I want the top to bulge a little bit, but I don't want it gaping open either. So I'm going to use the smaller bit to get the drill bit where I want it and the depth. And then I'll come back in with the bigger bit and I will drill it out. And hopefully, well, you'll see here, I do use my hobby knife here in a little bit after I I drill in some. I like the hole and everything, but when I looked at it, I didn't like how it didn't bulge up the top part of the plate as much as I'd like for it to have. So I used my hobby knife to change that. But again, I'm using the more aggressive drill bit, and it, as you see there, it works really good. And like I said, that's the stuff that's left there on the sides. Pull off whatever little bit there is, you know. But if there's something stuck on there, you can leave it there if you really wanted to. Right here, I'm trying to put a little pressure on the drill bit and make it go up, because I don't know if you've seen it there or not, but it was still flat. So this is where I use the hobby knife, and I just put a little slit right there on it, and that, along with coming in with the drill bit on an upward angle here like this, will give me that little bit of a bulge on the top of the plate, so you can see that the round hit and stuff like that. I don't know if you can really see it there or not, but there is a little bit of a bulge over that now. And again, with the size of it and everything, you could, if you wanted to. I didn't, but you know, you could just absolutely blow that open, you know, and stuff like that. I decided to go a little more less aggressive with that. And now back to trying to get this Tamiya Putty in here. And there was probably about 10 minutes time in between when I finished the last one and when I started to do this one here. And so the Tamiya Putty, of course, started to skin up. So, but back to the sculpting tool here. I did get the tip of it wet, so the Tamiya Putty wouldn't stick to it that much, hopefully. Using the hobby knife just to get that little extra bit off of there. And then when you go back in, like I'm doing here, I don't know if you noticed it, but it looked like the Tamiya Putty kind of shrunk back in a little bit. So now I'm just going in and I'm just pushing it out towards the edges more, just to get more of that pronounced melted metal look, I guess. And I'm going to do one more ricochet, and it's going to be on the side. And this is going to be one of the ones that looks like a big dent, I guess you would say, in the side of it here. And to me, I think those two ricochets or shell damage spots are actually good. Now, it's been like 10 more minutes, and as you see there, it dried up and it looks really damn good. It looks close to the pictures at the beginning of the video here. So I'm liking that. Now, when I go to do this one here, I'm going to use my Dremel and a file and a sanding stick. And all I'm doing here with the instructions is I'm just looking to make sure where I want to put it at doesn't have anything there that's going to get in the way. And it's got some tow cables on the sides, but it's also got them on the top. But where I'm going to put it at there is where the front plate and the side armor connect. So right there in that little gap where I'm marking it at now, is I'm just going to put it right there. So even if I do put that that other tow cable on there, it shouldn't get in the way. And with all the fenders there being damaged, that'll fit in really good with the build that's going on right now. The bit that I have is a conical shaped, but it's the metal burr bit that I used in the last video. And I have it on low, and I'm just trying to get the start of where the round starts to hit the side plate of the armor there. And I'll just go back and forth and get it to where I think it's deep enough, but I don't want to go too deep because I'm going to use the 80 grit, or the black end of my little sanding stick on the end of it to get that scratch look on it. Now my file, I'm actually just using that not to file, but the end of it is flat, so I'm using that to kind of like score the dent a little bit longer and just a little bit deeper, just to get that rough groove where it hit. And this here is just to kind of soften up the edges just a little bit, but not too much. And that's just a one of those hard sanding bits for the Dremel. But what really works the best is the sanding sticks here. I've got the ones that have, I think they're 140 grit on one end and 80 on the other, and they're color coded, so the dark color's the rougher one. And I go back and forth. I just keep rinsing and repeating this until I get it to the shape that I like, and I think looks halfway decent for a ricochet. But hopefully, Kevin, this helps you, or anybody else that watches this video. If you guys do like this sort of stuff, or have more requests, there's a comment box down below. Drop a like and a comment down below. Let me know what you think, or if you need some other idea. Again, I'm not the greatest at this sort of stuff. I just kind of use a combination of stuff that I used to use on model cars and things I've seen other builders do. Again, Night Shift, God tier when it comes to armor stuff. He's got tutorial videos well worth checking out. But again, if you guys like this sort of stuff, drop a like and a comment down below. If you're not already, consider subscribing. That helps the channel grow, which we are growing pretty good. We're halfway to 500 by the end of the year. That's awesome. So keep it up, guys. You rock. We have a Discord. Link for that is down in the description box below. Subscribing and Discord are free, except for a notification when I post new videos and stuff like that. Discord, come in, hang out, talk, post pictures of your builds. Can't stress it enough. We have some absolute monster builders in there. These guys are total badasses. They're more on the levels of Night Shift than I could ever want to be. So it's worth joining just to come in and look at their stuff. Build ideas, there's a channel for that. You want to see something on the channel? Drop it in the build idea. We'll see what we can do for you. But until the next video, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.